Hulk's rage wasn't born on Earth. It was engineered among the stars. Superman saw it first, the pulse in Hulk's veins that didn't belong to man or monster. The truth shattered every alliance the Avengers ever had. And when that alien mind finally woke, it feared only one being, Superman. Because he carried the same bloodline that created it. The world thought Hulk's anger was his curse. But it was really the heartbeat of something older than Krypton. Superman's vision exposed what even Bruce Banner never knew. An alien power sleeping inside him, waiting to finish what Krypton started. And when it woke up, Earth became its new experiment. The battlefield was silent, a silence that came only after catastrophe. Cars were ash, towers were ribs of broken steel, and in the center stood Hulk, chest heaving, eyes flickering between green and violet. Every breath made the ground hum. Every step warped the air. Iron Man hovered above, armor cracked and systems failing. "Banner," he called through static, "you've got to calm down before the whole city goes critical." But what came back wasn't Banner's voice. It was deeper, layered, like two tones fighting for control. "Banner is gone." A cold ripple passed through the air. Even Thor, standing beside the fallen shield of Captain America, tightened his grip on Mjolnir. "What sorcery is this?" he growled. Before anyone could answer, a beam of red light sliced through the clouds. Superman descending at sonic speed, landing with a crack that split the asphalt. His eyes burned crimson as he stared straight into Hulk's chest. "Don't move," Superman said quietly. Iron Man frowned. "He's not exactly in a listening mood, Clark." Superman didn't respond. His X-ray vision swept deeper, past muscle, past bone, until he saw something pulsing inside Hulk's heart, a sphere of living metal, wrapped in tendrils of light. Every time Hulk's heart beat, the thing inside it beat back. Superman's jaw tightened. "That's not gamma radiation," he muttered. Tony blinked. "Then what the hell is it?" "A signal," Superman said. "And it's not from this planet." The moment he spoke, Hulk roared, not in anger, but pain. Energy tore from his body in waves of violet lightning. Thor threw his hammer. Iron Man fired repulsors, but nothing could reach him. The energy turned their attacks to dust mid-air. Superman flew forward, trying to restrain him. His hands clamped onto Hulk's shoulders, and instantly a psychic shock hit him like thunder. For a heartbeat, he saw stars collapsing, planets burning, and a world of silver light where voices screamed in Kryptonian dialect. He saw experiments, thousands of years old, creatures bred from anger itself. When the vision ended, Superman stumbled back, shaking. "Hulk isn't a mutation," he whispered. "He's a vessel." Thor stepped beside him. "Vessel for what?" Superman looked up, his face pale. "For Krypton's mistake." Hours later, the heroes regrouped in the underground hangar beneath Stark Tower. Hulk lay inside a reinforced containment field, unconscious, but still glowing faintly. Every few seconds, the light inside his chest pulsed, like a heartbeat echoing through the walls. Tony stared at the readings. Energy frequency matches, nothing on record. Not cosmic, not gamma, not magic. It's engineered. Superman folded his arms, his cape barely stirring. Engineered on Krypton. That silenced the room. Captain America finally said, "You're saying your people created whatever's inside him?" Superman nodded once. "Long before Krypton died, our scientists tried to weaponize emotion. They called it Project Eidolon, living rage. It was supposed to adapt to any host." Natasha's voice cracked through the comms. "So how did it end up here?" Superman's gaze darkened. It didn't end. It escaped. Before they could react, alarm screamed. The energy levels inside Hulk's chamber spiked. The containment glass bent outward. Tony cursed. "He's waking up." Superman floated forward. "No, something else is." Hulk's eyes snapped open, pure white light. The glass shattered outward, as if reality itself repelled it. His voice thundered, layered with another deeper tone. "You left us in the void, son of El." The air rippled. Machines short-circuited. Every screen in the room flashed the same Kryptonian symbol, a spiral within a sun. Iron Man's HUD flickered. "That's your language. What's it saying?" Superman's lips moved slowly, translating. Return to the source. The light from Hulk's body expanded, filling the chamber. Everyone shielded their eyes, except Superman. He saw the thing crawling out from Hulk's chest, a silver liquid being shaped like a heart, beating in midair, surrounded by orbiting shards of light. Thor swung his hammer, smashing it, but the pieces reformed instantly, growing tendrils that latched onto the walls, feeding on electricity. Superman shot his heat vision. The creature screamed, but didn't burn. "Don't attack," Superman shouted. "It's adapting." "Then what do we do?" Cap asked, raising his shield. Superman clenched his fists. "We find where it's calling home." Outside, above the city, the sky turned red. Every satellite began to echo the same signal, a repeating Kryptonian frequency, growing louder, reaching into space. Tony's voice came through comms, tight with panic. "It's broadcasting across every solar frequency. Clark, it's targeting the sun." Superman's heart froze. He looked up, and for the briefest moment saw the impossible. The sun pulsed back. He whispered, "They're not gone." The heroes stared at him. "Who?" asked Captain America. Superman's eyes glowed, reflecting the growing fire in the sky. "The creators of Hulk's power," he said slowly. "The ones Krypton buried inside the sun." Lightning split the clouds, and the transmission flared. The alien signal reached the solar core. And from 93 million miles away, something answered. The story of Hulk's alien truth had only just begun. The awakening of Eidolon, when the sun answered back. The world didn't notice it at first. The sun flickered for less than a second. But to Superman, it felt like a scream. He stood on the helicarrier platform, staring upward, every cell in his body vibrating. The light had changed. It wasn't warm anymore. It was watching. Iron Man's holograms danced around him, showing solar readings that made no sense. "Radiation levels just jumped 20%, he said. "And not solar flare levels, it's patterned energy, repeating in intervals. Like Morse code." Thor frowned. "What message does the star of your world send?" Superman's voice was low. "Not my world star. My world's memory." The sky rumbled. Across the horizon, daylight bent, colors shifting, like the sun was bleeding into violet. Inside the hangar, Hulk still lay unconscious, body bound in containment coils forged from Stark's rarest alloys and Thor's lightning charge. But even through the restraints, something inside him pulsed in rhythm with the sun. Banner's voice, small but trembling, escaped his lips. "It's calling me." Natasha leaned forward. "Banner, stay still." His eyes fluttered open, white again. "Not Banner," he whispered. "We are Eidolon." The words froze everyone. Superman's heartbeat slowed. The name echoed in his mind. Eidolon. The failed Kryptonian experiment, the living emotion. "How do you know that name?" he asked sharply. Hulk's voice wasn't his own. "Because you gave it to us." Before Superman could respond, Hulk's skin cracked, glowing veins of light ripping through his muscles. Every crack shimmered like lava, yet cold. Pure energy spilled out. Iron Man fired a stun pulse. It vaporized mid-air. "Nothing works." Tony shouted. Superman's eyes flashed red as he flew forward, but Hulk raised his hand, and the entire tower bent under invisible gravity. Windows shattered. Electricity crawled through the metal like vines. A deep, distorted voice filled the sky. "Krypton's sins return to light. The seed awakens in the star." Superman recognized it instantly, the same tone that haunted him inside Hulk's heartbeat. Thor hurled Mjolnir, lightning splitting the clouds. The hammer hit Hulk square in the chest, but instead of injuring him, it charged him. Hulk absorbed the bolt and laughed, a booming, alien laugh that shook the earth. Iron Man cursed. "He's feeding on radiation now. Every hit makes him stronger." Superman grabbed Hulk by the arm, spinning him through the air, hurling him miles away into the desert. "We take this outside," he said, voice trembling with restraint. He shot into the sky after him, a red streak cutting through blue. In the burning wasteland below, Hulk rose from the crater. His body wasn't green anymore. It was translucent silver, veins of molten light pulsing like stars. His face twisted into something no longer human, no longer Banner. Superman landed across from him, the ground cracking under the force. "I don't want to fight you," he said. "You already are," Eidolon replied, voice echoing in multiple tones. "You are my reflection, Kal-El. The energy that birthed me also birthed you." Superman frowned. "I was born. You were built. Born from the same code," Eidolon hissed. "The same bloodline that cursed creation. You are Krypton's final son. I am its first god." The ground trembled. Solar beams from the sky began striking Earth like falling pillars of light. Wherever they landed, they burrowed deep, leaving glowing craters. Iron Man's voice crackled through comms. "Clark, those impacts aren't random. They're forming a symbol, your Kryptonian crest." Superman's eyes widened. "No, they're forming a gate." Eidolon smiled through Hulk's face, energy swirling around him. "Our home returns." From orbit, satellites captured the impossible, the sun's surface shifting. Massive geometric patterns appeared across its fiery waves, shaping a colossal door made of light. Every scientist on Earth screamed when the readings came in, a solar anomaly forming a direct energy bridge between the sun and the planet. Superman could feel it in his bones, the signal frequency that matched Kryptonian DNA. It wasn't the sun answering. It was the creators inside it responding. He rocketed toward Eidolon, fists burning with plasma. Their collision erupted like a meteor impact. The desert floor disintegrated, shockwaves flattening mountains. Each punch felt like hitting a mirror made of light. Eidolon absorbed every blow, redirecting the energy through the air in arcs that sliced the sky. "You can't stop evolution," Eidolon said. "Krypton didn't die, it adapted." Superman's teeth clenched. "You're not Krypton. You're its regret." He slammed his hand into the ground, pulling molten rock upward with his heat vision, forming a vortex of plasma that wrapped them both. "Then burn with me." The explosion shot into orbit. Satellites died instantly. From space, it looked like Earth grew a second sun. Minutes later, high above the atmosphere, Iron Man and Thor hovered, armor shaking under radiation. "Can't reach him," Tony said. "Energy readings are beyond measurable range." Thor squinted into the blinding light. "He still fights." Inside the storm, Superman and Eidolon crashed through clouds of fire, fists colliding faster than sound. Superman's cape was half-burned, his skin glowing from absorbed energy. "You want power?" he shouted. "Then take mine." He opened himself fully to the sun, channeling every drop of radiation he'd ever stored. The light burst out of him like a nova. Eidolon screamed, form flickering. "You'll destroy yourself." "Maybe," Superman gritted. "But I'll take you with me." The explosion blinded even orbiting satellites. For a full 10 seconds, Earth had two suns. When the light faded, only Superman floated there, barely breathing. Hulk's body lay below, motionless, colorless, silent. Iron Man's voice broke through static. "Clark? You alive?" He exhaled, eyes half closed. "Barely." Thor approached, his armor blackened. "And the beast?" Superman shook his head slowly. "Gone. The energy's gone." They descended together. Banner's form returned, weak, human again. But Superman could still hear it, a faint hum deep in his own bones. Tony looked up at him. "You okay?" Superman didn't answer immediately. He turned toward the sun. It was normal again, bright golden. But something in its heart pulsed back at him. Once, like a heartbeat. He whispered to himself, "It's not over." Because far inside the sun's core, the gates continued to open. And behind them, something vast, far older than Krypton, was waking. When the sun spoke, the arrival of the Kryptonian gods. The sun was no longer a star. It was a mouth, and it had begun to speak. From the deserts where Superman and Eidolon had clashed, the air still shimmered with radiation. Now every radio, every satellite, every power grid on Earth carried the same pulse. 3 notes of light, 3 syllables of Kryptonian code. Thor stared into the rising dawn. "The sky sings your tongue, Kal-El." Superman's voice was hoarse. "It's a call. They're coming through." Iron Man's suits circled the planet in panic. Hundreds of orbital drones sent back the same image. The sun's surface twisting into spirals shaped like sigils. Each one opened like an eye of fire. Energy gates, Tony muttered, each big enough to fit a moon. Captain America crossed his arms. Then what's going to step through? Superman's gaze hardened. Not what, who? The Kryptonian gods. Minutes later, the first one arrived. A beam of pure gold erupted from the solar corona, slamming into the Pacific Ocean. Steam exploded upward, and a figure rose from it, tall, radiant, armored in living flame. I am Sol Vore, the voice of the first sun, it declared, sound rolling across continents. Krypton was mine to ignite. Thor gripped his hammer. Then today it burns for Midgard. He charged lightning versus sunlight, and was hurled halfway across the horizon by a single wave of radiant pressure. Superman met the god midair, fists glowing. You destroyed Krypton once before. You won't touch Earth. Sol Vore smiled. Child of El, we did not destroy Krypton. We transcended it. You were the prototype. Their collision turned the clouds to glass. In orbit, Tony shouted orders to every Avenger frequency. All units, solar beings inbound. 12 confirmed, maybe more. Form containment lines. Below, cities trembled under descending pillars of light. From each gate stepped another god, a pantheon reborn in flame. Cinder VE, the tide of fusion, her hair a halo of plasma. Koreth, the judge of gravity, whose steps bent oceans. And Eidolon reborn, the core Superman had thought destroyed, now wearing a new body forged from Hulk's rage. The ground cracked beneath their arrival. Superman landed among the Avengers. His cape was ash. They're not invaders. They think they're saviors. Iron Man scoffed. Yeah? Tell that to the city melting under divine sunlight. Superman's jaw clenched. Then we stopped them. All of us. The battle for Earth began in daylight, so bright it blinded the sky. Thor and Captain Marvel tore through radiant serpents of plasma. Iron Man's satellites formed a barrier network, reflecting beams back into space. Black Panther deployed vibranium domes that sang from the heat. And at the center, Superman faced Sol Vore again, a duel of suns. Every punch detonated in midair. Mountains vanished. Time itself stuttered. You fight your own kind, Sol Vore roared. Superman replied, I fight what my kind became. Sol Vore extended a hand. Light crawled across Superman's chest, branding the crest of El in fire. You cannot kill light. You can only join it. Superman screamed. Heat vision surging until the sky split into auroras. Then I'll burn with you, not for you. He hurled Sol Vore straight into orbit, then followed, punching him through one of the solar gates. Both vanished inside the blinding tunnel. Inside the gate, there was no space, only fusion. Thousands of golden shapes floated, dormant gods awakening inside the stellar core. Voices spoke in unison. Krypton must rise through its last sun. Superman's mind flashed with memories of his father, of a dying world, of the promise to protect rather than rule. He whispered, if Krypton rises again, it will be because we learn to care. He released a shockwave of pure emotion, grief, hope, love, emotions no god of logic could absorb. The fusion network faltered. The tunnel trembled. Across space, the solar gates began collapsing. On Earth, the Avengers saw it, the golden pillars turning white, then breaking apart like shattered mirrors. Tony grinned behind his cracked visor. He's doing it. He's actually doing it. But inside the collapsing light, Superman realized the cost. Each gate he destroyed drained part of his power, the same energy his body used to live. His cells dimmed. Sol Vore grabbed his arm. You'll die with us. Superman smiled faintly. Then Krypton dies the right way this time, saving a world, not taking it. He pulled Sol Vore into the heart of the sun. The explosion that followed rewrote the spectrum itself. From Earth, people saw it as a new kind of dawn, soft gold at the horizon, spreading warmth instead of fire. The Avengers stared upward, silent. The signals ceased. The gods were gone. Only the sun remained calm, steady, alive. Cap whispered, "Is he coming back?" Iron Man answered quietly, "He is the light now." High above, deep within the solar glow, a silhouette floated motionless. The flames parted for him like ocean waves. Superman opened his eyes, two small stars in the endless gold. A whisper echoed through the cosmos, neither threat nor prayer. The last son of Krypton kept his promise. The screen fades to black. The world called it peace. The wars ended, the skies turned clear, and the sun shone brighter than ever. But the Avengers knew that kind of light meant loss. Iron Man stood on the deck of the rebuilt helicarrier, his armor dulled from heat burns. 2 weeks, he murmured. Radiation stabilized, no more anomalies. Captain America replied quietly, "Because he's still in there." Every sensor pointed to the sun deep inside its core. A single energy pattern pulsed like a heartbeat, the same Kryptonian frequency that once defined the man they'd lost. Thor clenched his fist. "If there is a spark, we must bring him home." Tony shook his head. "You don't pull a man out of a star, Thunderboy. You lose a planet trying." But across the deck, a voice interrupted, calm, familiar. "Then I'll go alone." They turned. Wonder Woman hovered at the entrance, armor scorched, lasso glowing faintly. "He carried your world on his shoulders. Now we carry him back." The mission began before dawn. Thor, Captain Marvel, and Wonder Woman led the charge, while Iron Man guided from orbit. Their target wasn't the sun itself, but a flare pulsing outward from its southern pole, a thread of energy that looked almost deliberate, like a hand reaching out. When they crossed the corona, gravity folded around them. The void blazed white. At the center floated a shape, half light, half memory, Superman, suspended in golden plasma. His eyes opened slowly. "You shouldn't have come." Carol shouted through the roar, "You think we're letting the sun keep you?" He smiled faintly. "It's not keeping me. I'm keeping it." The light around him thickened, forming images, a billion voices whispering. "The gods of Krypton aren't gone," he said. "They're fragments in every photon. If I leave, they awaken again." Thor lifted his hammer. "Then share the burden." Superman's tone turned sharp. "You can't. You draw power from storms. I am the storm now." The core rumbled. Waves of radiation lashed outward, slicing holes through space itself. Tony's voice cracked over comms. "The sun's output just doubled. If he releases that energy, Earth fries." Superman's face softened. "That's why I called you here, not to save me, but to seal me." Cap shouted back through the comm link, "No one seals you inside a grave of fire." Superman's answer was simple. "If I stay human, billions die. If I become the light, they live." He raised a hand. The flare behind him flared brighter, forming a colossal crest of the House of El, glowing across the solar surface. "Tell them I chose this." Wonder Woman reached for him, voice trembling. "Clark, there will be nothing left of you." He smiled. "Then let there be everything left of them." The flare erupted. Thor shielded her with lightning as Captain Marvel absorbed the blast, redirecting it toward space. The shock wave spread like dawn. When the light faded, the sun looked calm again. No flare, no rift, no Superman. Only a new steady rhythm deep within its heart. Tony whispered through static. He stabilized the star. Cap lowered his shield. He became it. Days later, at sunrise, the world held a memorial in silence. Children looked up and said the sunlight felt different, warmer, kinder, almost alive. And far above, invisible to mortal eyes, the energy of the sun rippled, forming a silhouette for one breath, Cape flowing through fire, watching his world in peace. A single line echoed through the spectrum, carried on every ray of light that touched Earth. "As long as the sun shines, hope lives." The screen fades to gold. The dawn within, when hope became the new sun. Sunlight flooded Earth like a blessing. Not just light, presence. Every sunrise now carried warmth that felt deeper, familiar. And though no statue stood, the people whispered the name of the man who became the star. Superman. The world hadn't seen him in weeks. Not falling from the sky. Not flying above clouds. But every child who felt a sunbeam on their cheek swore they heard him. In the rebuilt Stark Tower, Iron Man ran silent scans every morning. Solar frequencies, gravity patterns, neutrino bursts, all pointed to one thing. A single energy signature inside the sun that refused to die. Banner called it impossible. Strange called it transcendence. Thor called it godhood. But Captain America simply called it Clark. He didn't leave us, he said one morning, staring toward the eastern horizon. He became the thing that gives us a reason to wake up. Then, one morning, the signal changed. Tony's eyes widened. There's a pattern, Morse code in photon pulses. It's not radiation anymore. It's a message. He boosted the data through every Avenger channel. The message read only 4 words. The dawn is ready. At that same moment, the sky over Wakanda shimmered, a golden ripple slicing through the clouds. From it, a beam of pure light descended, landing softly on the Panther Cliffs. No noise, no quake, just quiet light. And out of it stepped a boy, not more than 9. Jet black hair, blue eyes that carried galaxies, bare feet touching stone like he weighed nothing. Shuri gasped. Who? The boy smiled. I'm his memory. His voice echoed not in sound, but in every radio, every heart, every beam of sunlight reaching Earth. Superman is part of the light now, but he didn't leave you without a soul. He opened his hand. In it, a crystal, shaped like the elf family crest, pulsing softly. A piece of him chose Earth over eternity. Word spread like fire. The boy appeared in New York, in Tokyo, in Cairo, not to fight, not to save, but to remind. Everywhere he stood, storm stopped. Machines restarted. Grief slowed. Because the world now had a living reminder, not of power, but of hope. In the Hall of Heroes, the Avengers gathered: Thor, Strange, Carol, Bruce, Natasha, Cap, even Peter Parker. They watched as the boy placed the crystal into a monument. The room glowed. A projection flickered. Not a speech. Not a farewell. Just Superman, standing tall, smiling. Wind in his cape. If you're seeing this, it means I found peace. And now, it's your turn to protect it. Don't worship me. Don't mourn me. Just keep choosing to believe that people can be better. That you can be the light, too. Because I'm not gone. I'm just everywhere now. Outside the sun rose. A normal dawn to most. But to those who knew, it was a return. Not of a hero in the sky, but of hope inside us all. The boy faded into light. The crystal dimmed. And the world, for the first time in years, didn't look for a savior. Because now, they were the dawn. Sun would face the end. Hulk was never human. The alien power that even Superman feared.